Iain Armitage. So you all want to know how I landed the role of Sheldon Cooper, huh? Well, let me tell you, it wasn't exactly like how you think it would happen. In fact, when I first heard the news, I couldn't even believe it. I mean, Sheldon Cooper, this iconic, incredibly intelligent, socially awkward, and yet lovable character from The Big Bang Theory. How does a kid like me even get into a role like that? Well, here's the story, and I promise you, it's a wild one. Let me take you back. It all started a couple of years ago when I was just a kid trying to make it in the world of acting. I was still figuring things out, like how to memorize lines, how to project my voice, how to not let the nerves get to me in auditions. I'd done a little bit of theater, some small roles here and there, but nothing that really seemed to make a splash. You know, typical kid actor stuff, working my way up, one audition at a time, hoping for that big break. And then this came along. The casting call came in for young Sheldon. At the time, I didn't even know what it was. I'd heard of The Big Bang Theory because, let's be honest, who hasn't? It's one of those shows that pretty much everyone has seen at least once. But I didn't watch it religiously. I didn't really know much about Sheldon Cooper. I just knew that he was quirky, smart, and, well, a bit of a genius. But that was pretty much the extent of it. So my agent called me up and said, "Iain, there's a role that might be perfect for you. It's for young Sheldon, the spin-off of The Big Bang Theory." And I thought, okay, this sounds like it could be interesting. But I had no idea what I was getting into. I mean, playing a character like Sheldon Cooper. It sounded a bit intimidating, right? At first, I was like, wait, isn't Sheldon a grown-up in The Big Bang Theory? But my agent explained to me that the show was going to be about his childhood, exploring how a young genius navigates life in Texas. And I thought, okay, this sounds a little different. So I figured, why not give it a shot? I remember going to the audition, and I was so nervous. I mean, I'd been auditioning for a while by then, but this was something else. Sheldon Cooper was such a big deal, and everyone loved him for being, well, Sheldon. So there I was, standing in front of a casting director, reading lines that I had only just gotten the night before. But as it turned out, that was only the beginning. Here's the thing, when you're auditioning for something as big as this, it's not just about reading the lines and delivering the dialogue. You've got to become the character. You've got to find that thing, that special piece of yourself that connects with the character and makes you believable. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I immediately understood Sheldon Cooper. I didn't. But I had something that I think helped me a lot, curiosity. I was so curious about what made Sheldon tick, about his quirks and his intelligence. I wanted to know why he was the way he was. So I started to watch The Big Bang Theory, and I realized something important. Sheldon isn't just a genius. He's socially awkward. He's incredibly rigid in his thinking, and he doesn't quite understand people. But despite all of that, there's this warmth to him, this charm, this absolute vulnerability in how he deals with the world. And I thought, that's something I can understand. We all feel like outsiders sometimes. We all have moments where we feel like we don't belong, or we don't get why people do the things they do. I think I was able to connect with that. The audition process wasn't just one take, you know. It wasn't like I just walked in, did my best Sheldon impression, and then left. Oh no, it was a process, multiple callbacks, lots of screen tests. And then, I remember it clearly, the moment I found out I got the role. I had been auditioning for a few weeks at this point, so the wait was nerve-wracking. And I got the call one afternoon. My agent said, "Iain, they want you to play Sheldon Cooper." Congratulations. My heart literally stopped. I was in shock. This was it, my big break. the role that could change everything. But as much as I was excited, I was also terrified. It's one thing to play a character. It's another to play a character that has been so beloved for years. Everyone knows Sheldon Cooper. How do you even begin to live up to that? How do you do justice to someone who's already become a pop culture icon? Well, I guess I didn't really have a choice. I had to give it my all. And that's when the real work began. I spent hours with the writers, the producers, the directors, learning more about Sheldon, how he thinks, how he behaves. We worked on the mannerisms, the speech patterns, the quirks that made him who he is. But here's the thing. No matter how much research I did, no matter how much I tried to get,